Hello, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, actually, for people who are watching us from Africa and Europe. Probably it's in the evening. I'm very glad to come back again today. Welcome, everybody on YouTube and Facebook. I am very honored to be with Coach Pat Nelson. So she's joining us today. Thank you for coming back. Last night was amazing. I had a group of wonderful leaders where we started an engaging conversation with each other. And also, I hope you really you got those very beautiful, good nuggets that we were able to share with you. So thank you very much. Like we announced last night that we will be back with Coach Pat and really engaging deep in a conversation about how to be an authentic leader. And this is the conversation I have with Coach Pat every day. She's definitely somebody that I enjoy listening to, somebody that who doing the work. Many people around me knows that if you and I about empowering people, then I'm not gonna be that close to you so much. So uh, Coach Pat Nelson, she's definitely somebody that I've been working for many, many years. So I will definitely glad that when we got together, start discussing how we're going to bring you guys some nuggets about how we're going to empower you, but also really most important thing, this topic about how to be an authentic leader. So welcome everybody and welcome Pat, Coach Pat.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Yeah. So I am definitely going to talk about Coach Pat. We been working for how many years now? I can't even tell.
Oh my goodness. Oh, it's been quite a few years. I'm going to
Mhm.
say maybe 15 years or
Mhm.
somewhere between 13, about 13 years, I think.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we have worked on so many projects, and she's been definitely somebody that you know how in your team you need that person who are he's very consistent, the person who is always consistent, always making sure that you're good and giving you the guidance and the clarity. So definitely Coach Pat's been around me and been in my professional life and also on a personal level too, because you cannot build up any relationship with somebody that you are not close to. So definitely is an honor for me to have her on this platform so I can be able to share her with you guys. So thank you for joining us. Bonjour, c'est Coach Jeanine avec Coach Pat. Nous sommes vraiment très honorés aujourd'hui de venir encore sur cette plateforme pour vous parler avec Coach Pat. C'est une dame qui est formidable, qui m'a beaucoup aidé dans mon parcours en tant que leader. Donc, j'ai vraiment l'honneur de partager le message avec elle. Et aujourd'hui, on va vraiment parler sur comment être un leader authentique. Et ça, c'est un terme que tout le monde utilise, mais aujourd'hui, nous allons vraiment passer du temps pour expliquer, mais aussi expliquer comment est-ce que nous nous sommes rencontrés d'abord et puis de comment est-ce qu'on a commencé à travailler ensemble. Donc, j'espère que ça pourra vous inspirer et aussi, vous pouvez aussi être en train de chercher comment être un leader authentique. Donc, n'hésitez pas, restez connectés et écrivez vos questionnaires ou bien si vous pouvez inviter les autres, ça sera une bonne chose. Merci beaucoup. So, Coach Pat, we're going to talk today what it means to be an authentic leader.
Mhm.
And we have an audience, we have people that they're going to be here. That's really one of the questions that when we started talking, many people have different definition of being an authentic leader.
Mhm.
Would you think that? You,
I'm
you,
so,
you, you, you think that, people have a different definition of being an authentic leader?
oh, for sure they do. For
Mm.
sure they do.
Yes. So when we started, you and I discussing what is really means authentic leader,
Mhm.
we came to this very similar conclusion about we actually define leadership in a different way, in a very different way. Not so much the way many people really define leadership.
Mhm.
So I would think I'm just going to invite you that we can ask some of the people. Please put your comment down. What do you think? what do you think it means to be an authentic leader? Donc, j'étais en train de demander à Coach Pat, parce que c'est parmi les conversations qu'on a commencé depuis là, depuis que le mois a commencé, même dans le mois de février, on était en train de discuter, parce que beaucoup de gens ils pensent qu'être leader, c'est avoir des positions ou bien ils ont beaucoup de définitions. Mais je suis quand même curieuse de savoir quel genre, si tu peux écrire sur le commentaire et nous allons lire, c'est quoi exactement, c'est quoi qui signifie être un leader authentique? Pour toi, ça veut dire quoi? Si tu peux écrire ça et comme ça, nous allons continuer la discussion, ça sera une bonne chose. So please, can you write that down in the comments? Make sure that you tell us what do you think it means to be an authentic leader. We're just curious this morning to know what people think, and we're also going to share what do we think, what it means to be an authentic leader. So we're just gonna keep you a few seconds, a few minutes, so we can see what people are writing down as what it means to you guys to be an authentic leader. Don't be shy. Just put down, write in the comments below, and just tell us what do you think it means to be an authentic leader, because it's a very, very important subject that I think people need to understand, and it's really a very interesting subject that we want to know exactly what people think about leadership, but also be an authentic leader. So, j'étais en train de dire aux gens que n'hésitez pas à écrire vos commentaires selon vous. Qu'est-ce que ça veut dire être un leader authentique? Donc, je suis un peu curieuse pour savoir qu'est-ce que vous pensez. Et il n'y a pas there's no wrong answer. Yes, there's no wrong answer, there's no right answer, but we were just curious to know, what do you think being an authentic leader? Okay. Come on, guys. We were just curious to know.
If you remember, that was what I asked you. I asked you, what was your idea of an authentic leader? What did you think it meant? And once we began to talk, we discovered that we both had the same idea in terms of leadership and what it means to be an authentic leader. Because I believe there is a difference.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. And it would be interesting to know what this audience feels about what an authentic leader is. Because I think there can be a little bit of confusion around authentic leadership and what it means to lead.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why we're curious, guys. If you can write down your comments. For some reason, I don't see any comments yet. So please,
I don't either.
Put down your comments so we can be able to have engagement, a conversation. It's not just one-way conversation. We would like to engage you guys and, drop some nuggets for you guys, because we enjoy being here. We definitely committed to empower you and empower each other. That's what it's really about. So we're really curious to know, what do you guys think about being an authentic leader? What does that mean? Donc, nous sommes vraiment là, et je suis curieuse de savoir qu'est-ce que vous pensez. Cela veut dire être un leader authentique. Donc, écrivez vos commentaires et puis nous allons lire et partager, parce qu'il n'y a pas une réponse mauvaise. Nous voulons juste savoir qu'est-ce que vous pensez et qu'est-ce que ça veut dire pour vous être un leader authentique. Okay. Yes,
it could be that it's not showing up because of the technology.
That's what I was thinking that too, because yeah, we definitely see that there are some people there, but we just can't see the comment. So
Right,
that, yeah.
right.
But guess what? It's okay. We can
Yeah.
always come back. Our next show, we can always review and then come back to you guys. So that's okay. But just make sure that you put down your comment or your question, or even you don't know, just put down what you think, because again, there's no right or wrong answer. Thank
Mhm.
you so much. So, Dr. Pat, what do you think, Coach Pat, what do you think it means to be an authentic leader?
Well, for me, to be an authentic leader, when you say authentic, you're talking about someone who reacts from their heart. So when you are an authentic leader, you lead from a place of service.
Mm-hmm.
Service to me is probably one of the highest callings there is. And
Yes,
so an authentic
absolutely.
leader is not looking at the title of
Mm-hmm.
leader. They're leading and directing and supporting and
That's right.
working with people from a place of service. They're doing
Mm-hmm.
it from their heart. And in being a leader, it really means that the title is not the primary goal for
Mm-hmm.
that individual.
Yes.
Um, they're looking to empower others.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, a leader doesn't give up. They don't give
That's
up.
right.
They
Yes.
stick in it, they stay with it,
Mm-hmm.
and they support others in
Mm-hmm.
empowering them and providing a service to them as well.
Mm-hmm. I
So, what
would
would you
definitely,
say an authentic leader is?
yeah. So I would definitely share the same understanding, because that is really what I have experienced around me. That's what I grew up really seeing around me. It's being an authentic leader. That's just how you said, Coach Pat. For me, being an authentic leader, it's really about service. It's
Mhm,
really about commitment to service,
mhm,
to public service,
mhm,
and to see people through. Like, we are not saying that it's always easy, but being an authentic leader, it's been your commitment doesn't really lay upon your feelings about the person. It's really about what you, um, how you impacting others. Just like Dr. Tammy last night, she mentioned that really is about being an authentic leader. It's about you are committed to see people through. That's been their journey. It's not your journey, it's people's journey, and you are there to support them.
mhm.
You are there to equip them. You are there to definitely making sure that they're clear. Because that's one thing I will tell you about Coach Pat. She have helped me so many occasions, so many example and story I can tell you, that whatever I was going through or whatever I was facing, could be in my personal life as a leader, but also in my professional life. I can remember exactly each time I came to Coach Pat and I explained to the situation, and she was, maybe it's either the way I explain or how I was saying that, she always kind of like listen, and she's very good at that. Like, she's listening, then she said, tell me more about that. That's really something that she have helped me. And also, and that's what an authentic leader does. Like, you need to make sure that the person is clear with the direction, how they're going,
Mhm,
how they understand the situation, and what the tools that they have.
mhm,
So that's really for us, for me and Coach Pat, we really define authentic leadership or being authentic. That means you're very committed to the process, even though sometimes you feel the heat, but you stay in it because you want to produce results. Right, Coach Pat? You have anything to add on that?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think that, again, it is about
Yes.
serving others and
Yeah.
doing it from the heart where you care
Right.
about the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole purpose in being an authentic leader is
Mm-hmm.
helping people to see and to make the best choices for themselves. But
Yes.
once they are clear about who they are,
Mm-hmm.
what it is they're looking to accomplish, you
Right.
support them in getting to wherever it is they want to
Mm-hmm.
get. It's not a
Yes.
decision for you to make. The
That's
only
right.
thing to do is to clear the field so that
Mm-hmm.
they can say, oh, okay,
Yes.
so this is what I'm really saying, or
Right.
this is what I'm looking to do.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's up to them
Yes.
to make that decision and to go
So
forward.
if I understand, yeah. So and I want people to continue to put your comment, even though we don't see that for some reason, but we will be able to respond to your question because we're just curious to know what do you think. So it's really about helping people to clarify what they think. Is their it's really being there for people while they're going through as a journey as a leader because it's really discovering who they are and the difference between being a leader and an authentic leader because just like what Coach Pat said, it's not about the title, it's not about the position because you're about all you care about is transformation. You care about empowering people and see them through and creating a result that they want, because they're going through the process. So that's really what we're talking about today. And welcome everybody who is joining us right now. We're talking about being an authentic leader and what are our own definition about what it means to be an authentic leader.
Mhm.
And that's something that we started a while ago. Me and Coach Pat we were talking about there's so many confusion around that topic. Many people have a confusion about that. And even last night, I think from one of our speakers, I think it was Madame Fabiola, she was talking about how we have many leaders. We have people in the positions who they are not authentic leaders, but they are in a leadership position. And that
Mhm.
maybe that might surprise you, but it's very true because I know so many so-called leaders but they are not authentic leader because my definition of being an authentic leader it's not about the position, it's not about the title, but it's about how you impact others and how you committed yourself to see them through or to see the transformation with them together. It's not about you imposing your way, or it's not about you really telling them what to do, even though you kind of know the topic. It's really about their process and how they go by that. It's just about really clarifying what the outcome that they want to see, just like what Coach Pat said.
Mhm. Yeah, there are definitely, for me to distinguish between an authentic leader and a leader.
Mm-hmm.
A leader is definitely someone who's given the responsibility of accomplishing whatever,
Yeah.
and
Yes.
someone gives them the power
That's right.
to um, to lead other people, to get other
Mm-hmm.
people to do what it
Yes.
is that they say
Mm-hmm.
they need to do in order to accomplish whatever the task happens
Yes.
to be. For me, an authentic leader, and I'll use an example if I may.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Um, my background is in healthcare, and I
Mm-hmm.
remember as a supervisor
Yes.
working with a number of people.
Mm-hmm.
And although I wanted certain things to be accomplished,
Mm-hmm.
I remember asking them and observing what it was that I thought that they could contribute.
Right.
So an authentic leader to me is also someone who knows how to observe. They observe really well, but they
Yes.
also listen. They also
Yeah.
listen. And so while I was working in this department with people who had lung disorders,
Mm-hmm.
I had wanted to develop um, a program where people could be taught. I wanted to develop um, pamphlets where they could look at information.
Mm-hmm.
And just in my general conversation,
Yes.
found that there was one person in particular. He drew, and so I got him to draw the pictures that I needed in my
Yes.
pamphlet.
Mm-hmm.
And someone else was very verbal. I mean, she was very good in speaking.
Mm-hmm.
And so with her, I used her.
Yes.
I wrote out information. I would go to her and say, "Oh, does this make sense to you? Do you think
Mm-hmm.
there's some other way for me to say this a little bit better?"
Yeah.
They were so pleased because
Mm-hmm.
I had paid attention. I I looked and I saw where they could fit in and bring
Right.
something really important to the work
Mm-hmm.
that
That's
we
right.
were trying to accomplish. I could
Mm-hmm.
very well have just written out the literature myself, the pamphlets myself, and gotten pictures from wherever to paste
Right.
it on, and then
Yes.
promote it, put it out to the patients for them to see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what I chose to do.
Right.
I chose to see who I was working with, understand what it was that they brought,
Mm-hmm.
and use their own natural skills and talents
Yeah.
in order
That's
to
very
promote that.
important. Yeah, that's very important because many people that I've seen that they are in a position of leadership, sometimes they don't listen or they don't take time to listen to their team. And that's why I think you and I have very same experience around, team and especially in different places that we have worked and different environments where all the directions it was created and shared on the team, but there's no really room for there's room for feedback, but there was no other options. There was no actually uh, time for feedback before to lay out the plan. So,
Yes,
and that to me, that leadership, that's somebody being in a position of leadership, but being an authentic leader, that's what you just described. You went and really listen and see what people have, and you were able to bring people in and be able to work with them as a team. So you always initiate, but also ready and flexible enough to be able to associate also other people in your team. And that really also some of the characteristic that a very good authentic leader need to do. You
yeah,
need to stay flexible. You need to stay open to listen so you can kind of really see what other skills and what people have, then you can be able to empower them to do that. So you just
absolutely.
perfect example. You give a very good example of that.
Because I honestly believe that
Yes.
everyone without exception has something to bring to the table. Everyone
Mm-hmm.
does.
Yes.
Sometimes it becomes a matter of people not having been heard, so they don't
Right.
always share because they're kind of afraid to
Yeah.
share.
Yeah.
And so they're a little bit quiet.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, an authentic leader still observes them,
Yeah.
still listens to them very well,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
discovers whatever that jewel is that they may not
Yes.
express
Yeah.
themselves, but
Mm-hmm.
you see it, and you bring it out in them. That's
Yes.
what we mean when we say that an authentic leader looks to empower
Yeah.
others
Mm-hmm.
because they're observing and they're listening.
Mm-hmm.
Observing and they're listening.
Yeah. Coach Pat, on your in your part to really understanding and on this subject about being an authentic leader, can you give us some example about where some people have come, they were a little bit shy, or they didn't even know who they are, and you kind of help them through understanding who they are and really bring the joy like you just mentioned. Can you give us also some other example of that? Because I will give my personal, because that's what I really that's what I really experienced with you, and really understanding the very core, like the core of my being, that was through that journey, having a conversation with you, could be at a coffee place, on the phone, on the video call. I mean, just we will always find ourselves going back to that subject about being an authentic leader. We did not put the name authentic leader, but it's just very recently that I realized all all this long. We always talk about that, being
Yeah.
an authentic leader.
Well, for me, the word leader has always been a difficult one for me to accept when people
Mm-hmm.
call me a leader. Um,
Yes.
Probably because I always thought of myself as more of a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
someone who fought for other people who did not
Yes.
feel empowered. And so I was not afraid to put on the suit of armor and
Yeah.
pick up the sword to fight for their rights
Mm-hmm.
and to empower them in that way to stand up for them and to
Yes.
fight their battles. So being a leader was a difficult word for me because I always saw myself as a warrior. And it took
Mm-hmm.
me a little time to understand that,
Yes.
in fact, I was leading, although I
Mm-hmm.
didn't see it that way,
Right.
because I could, even with those who did not feel empowered, again, it became a matter of seeing them, hearing them.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
as I said, for the ones who didn't have the belief in themselves, I
Mm-hmm.
believed in them. And so I would take the time. So it reminds me of another young woman I worked with who
Yes.
had been in the intensive care unit, which is where
Mm-hmm.
much of my work was done uh,
Mm-hmm.
before I began to supervise people. They had
Mm-hmm.
kicked her out of the intensive care unit. They didn't feel that she had the knowledge, if you will, to be
Mm-hmm.
able to work in that kind of environment. And I saw what it did to her mentally, to be
Mm-hmm.
told that she was not good enough, she was not prepared.
Right.
And I knew that she was. I knew
Yes.
that she was. And
Mm-hmm.
so it became a matter of me working with her, and we never talked about it. We never, ever talked about it.
Yes.
But what I did consciously was I would give her some things to do that did not put her in the intensive care unit, but
Yeah.
showed her that she did have the knowledge.
Yes.
Did have the knowledge.
That's
And so when
empowerment.
she
You empower
completed
her.
the one task that I gave her another task. And it might have
You
been a little
empower her
more
back.
difficult. And I gave
Yeah.
her another one. And
Yeah.
then it was like she knew on her own, without me even saying it, that she could do this. And then I remember one day saying to her, do you think maybe you want to go back into the intensive care unit and work there? And she said, yes, I believe I can do it.
Yes.
And so I met with the supervisor who was
Mm-hmm.
running the intensive care unit. And I said to her, I would like to see Marie come over here. She's
Mm-hmm.
proven herself time and time again. And they took her over there, and Marie she was doing wonderful. She was doing wonderful.
Yeah. Now, how long it took you? How long did you work with her? for her to come back? Like, do you remember? Do you notice how long it took you?
No, it wasn't. And the time that it took had more to do with her accepting. And I think
Yes,
next week we'll be talking about the mindset. But
the
it was her
mindset. Yeah.
mindset that got in the way.
Mm-hmm.
She was listening to what other people were saying rather than
Right.
listening to her own inner voice.
Mm.
And so it took a couple of months. And when I say a couple of months, I'm going to say 6 months or maybe just a little bit longer than that before
Okay.
she began to listen to her own inner voice and
So
to
that's
hear my
mhm.
voice as well.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good thing that you were able to see that, and for her to pick up on that and start really working on her mind.
Yes,
That's really amazing.
yes.
Yeah, that's awesome. And again, you're listening to us right now through YouTube or Facebook. Just start really thinking about your own journey as a leader, on your journey. You might not have the confidence yet. You might have some questions. That again, we would love to answer your questions and be able to be here on your journey with you if you are, if that's what you want to do. But we just again offering some very good nuggets and having a conversation about this, because that's something that many people they struggle with, or some people that they definitely confused, because that's I came across so many articles. They emphasize so much about the position, the title, which it's okay to have that, but
Mhm.
using those position and influence to be able to help people and equipping people with tools so they can walk their own walk, or they can be able to go through their own journey. That's empowerment, and that's what we are talking about right now, being an authentic leader. So that's something that we just give you a very few nuggets today. We're gonna come back again. Um, every other Tuesdays, and we're gonna give you some dates. So stay tuned. We're gonna come back with Coach, because this is just the beginning. We're starting. So I am so glad. Merci beaucoup en tout cas d'être ici. Aujourd'hui, on a vraiment discuté de c'est quoi le leadership, c'est quoi être un authentique leader, et c'est plus important surtout que si tu as commencé aussi ce chemin de leadership. Tu peux avoir des questions ou tu es en train de diriger l'équipe, mais quelque chose que j'aimerais vraiment que tu puisses savoir. Nous sommes là, écris tes questions, mais tu peux même me contacter directement. Je serais ravie de parler avec toi si tu veux vraiment t'intéresser au leadership, et tu as des gens qui t'écoutent beaucoup, qui viennent chez toi pour te demander des solutions, pour te demander qui ont des questions pour toi. Ça veut dire que tu es un leader, mais tu dois juste commencer à bien réfléchir comment que tu dois juste donner le meilleur de toi-même, mais ce n'est pas leur dire ce qu'ils doivent faire, mais surtout de leur donner le support qu'ils ont besoin dans leur propre journey. Donc, merci beaucoup en tout cas d'être là aujourd'hui avec nous, avec Coach Pat. On va encore revenir, on aura encore 3 séances ensemble dans le mois de mars avec Coach Pat. Donc, n'hésitez pas de nous contacter. Merci beaucoup de se connecter et de nous suivre. Merci. Et on se revoit encore ce soir avec Dr. Tammy à partir de 20h Eastern Time, mais ça sera 9h Central Time pour ce soir. So, merci beaucoup. Thank you guys for watching us again. This was Coach Jeanine and Coach Pat. Today we talked about being an authentic leader, and we had some very good nuggets that Coach Pat gave it to us, and how we define what it means to be an authentic leader. Coach Pat, your few words before we finished.
Yeah, there's something that I think I want to add, because we talked. Remember, I said there's an authentic leader and there is a leader. And
Right.
a leader, I consider myself, I have worked in positions where I have been, well, I guess I'm always an authentic leader, because I don't believe that you can learn to be an authentic leader. You can learn to be a leader,
Yes.
But an authentic leader is something very different.
Right.
Again, as we said, an authentic leader is really looking to serve others and
Serve others.
empower
Yeah.
others.
Mm-hmm.
A leader
Oh.
may be
Mhm.
someone who's looking to accomplish a task and they are
Right.
in charge so that they can get the work done. So I think it becomes important for each individual to
Mm-hmm.
decide what it is that they're looking to be. Are they looking to be an authentic leader or a leader? Or a leader? You can be both,
Oh,
because I've certainly
yeah.
served that kind of role in my life as well. You can be both. But an
We
authentic
have a
leader,
question for you, Coach Pat.
huh?
Somebody asked you. We have yeah, from Africa. Awesome. They're asking in French, so I'm gonna translate. They're asking, how did you start, or what pushed you to become an authentic leader?
You know,
Thank you so much, Diane. Thank you for your question.
I think that started when I was very young, and I do mean very young. I am the
Mm-hmm.
oldest of five girls, the oldest
Mm-hmm.
of five girls.
Yeah.
And I was given the responsibility of really doing a lot of caring for my
Yeah.
sisters. And
Mm-hmm.
because I loved them so much, I would always listen to what it
Mm-hmm.
was that they wanted. And so I would find a way of listening to them and caring about what they needed, also looking at what I needed to accomplish. And
Yes.
so I started that at a very young age. I would say I
Mm.
started when I was maybe 10 years old. I mean,
Oh my
seriously,
goodness.
very young. I was very young and given quite
Yes.
a bit of responsibility. And because I was the oldest girl, I
Mm-hmm.
led the way. And that's why the title leader was something that I never could really accept, because
Yes.
it was just a continuation
Mm-hmm.
of who I was cultivated to be.
I see. Okay. So, Diane, you heard your answer. Vous avez écouté la réponse de Coach Sandra, I mean, Coach Pat. Elle a dit que c'est pas qu'elle elle a été poussée à devenir un leader authentique, mais déjà dès le bas âge, à 10 ans, elle était déjà, parce qu'elle est la première fille, je pense, dans sa famille. Elle a 4 autres sœurs, donc elle a été automatiquement elle a commencé déjà à diriger ou à être responsable déjà à l'âge de 10 ans. Donc ça, c'est quelque chose que soit tu l'es ou tu ne l'es pas, un leader authentique, je pense, selon elle, mais tu deviens leader. Mais être un leader authentique, ça dit soit tu l'es ou soit tu ne l'es pas. Et ça, tu dois découvrir ça en fait. Donc, ça, c'est quelque chose que moi aussi, je peux vraiment témoigner de ça parce que être un leader authentique, c'est que tu dois être au service, tu dois être là pour servir. Et ça aussi, j'ai commencé ça très jeune. Dans tout ce que je faisais, je me suis retrouvée toujours dans des positions de leadership, que ce soit dans ce que je faisais, que ce soit chez moi, que ce soit partout là où j'ai travaillé, toujours, on m'a toujours mis, je suis toujours responsable de quelque chose. Donc, pour moi, c'est quelque chose de très naturel. Et I was just explaining I was responding to Diane, saying that definitely being an authentic leader, it's either you are or you're not. But being a leader, you can definitely be a leader and you can learn some skills. But being an authentic leader, you can learn that because it's either you are or either that you discover really which is a process. But I was saying how Coach Pat, at a very young age, that's something I very also share. That because at a very young age too, I really found myself to being responsible on so many levels. Could be in my family, could be in other capacity. as well, especially at work. I'm always in charge of something, or always, in charge of people. So people, they did not really see my age, but was really based on my performance, but also the heart of service that I carry with me. And that's very similar to Coach Pat, that she was saying since she was 10 years old, she's always been responsible. So that's amazing. And love of maturity also that brings, that's really amazing to me. So I'm gonna tell you how Coach Pat, that's how you realize, or you see, the other person who is also a leader. I remember the first conversation that I had with her. It was back in Vermont. We went for coffee at a Barnes and Noble. I did not even see time passed because we spent more than 3 hours talking about the same thing. I just say, yeah. So it was, oh my God, it was amazing. I remember like it was yesterday, because I finally say, I finally found somebody that not just I can relate, but somebody who understands me, somebody who definitely can be able to see and to understand my heart. So that was really something that I found, so many things we had in common. So since then until today, 13 years after, 15 years after, we're still together, working together with Pat. Coach Pat. So to me, that really was empowering to see another authentic leader. So that's why I joined her, in whatever she's doing. She joined me. I actually drag her on because I really see the importance of really what she's doing, the service, the level of the service that she's always giving, and being there consistent. Yesterday we talked about that, about being consistent, and that's one of the things to Coach Pat. I think she'll agree with me. Being an authentic leader, it's really about being consistent, about the type of service or how you're supporting people. So I hope today, I think we're gonna, one little bit more few minutes, but that's okay, because that's what we are so passionate about, really empowering people. So I hope you had some good question. You had time to listen to us and start reflecting on your own journey as a leader. Or maybe you don't see yourself as a leader yet, but really we want you to start really thinking about what we talked about today and your own definition about being an authentic leader. And again, join us the next time, or join us tonight, where we're going to continue with Dr. Tammy tonight. So please, you can be able to join us again, Facebook Live or on YouTube by 7 o'clock Central Time. Yes, and no, not 7 o'clock. 9 o'clock Central Time and 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So that will be when we're going to continue with Dr. Tammy. And again, all this month, we're going to continue to empower people. And we here, we committed to this. And authentic leadership, it's a process and it's a journey. It's not a title or it's not a position. So that's one thing we are very clear about. And we would like you to also start thinking about who is around you. How do you impact others? How do you support your team, your family, people who are around you? So, une question, nous vous laissons avec, c'est qu'on commence à réfléchir sur ton journey en tant que leader, ou si tu commences à penser que tu es un leader, ou même si tu ne sais pas que tu es un leader authentique, mais commence à penser, fais une réflexion sur ça. On va encore se revoir ce soir avec Dr. Tammy, et n'hésitez pas à écrire des commentaires, des questionnaires, comme ça on va continuer à être là, parce que nous nous sommes décidés tous au mois de mars, on sera là chaque soir à partir de 9h Central Time, et je pense 10h Eastern Time. Comme ça, connectez-vous et on sera encore ensemble avec Dr. Tammy ce soir. Merci beaucoup. Coach Pat.
Yes.
It was a pleasure having a conversation with you.
It is always my pleasure. You know, we could talk about this for hours.
That's right. That's right. We do that
talk
anyway.
about this for hours, but we had to keep just a little kernel.
That's a little nugget, because guess what, guys? She's coming back again. We have 3 more sessions. And after this, she's gonna be really, really, if you're interested in on really being close to us and work with us, Pat, Coach Pat and I, we definitely have some very good, great news. It's coming up, so just stay tuned, definitely, because we would like to equip you and work with you. If, of course, you would like to work with us, and we will definitely, because we are committed to empower people every day. Thank you so much, everybody, and oh, we have somebody else also mentioned about being an authentic leader. It's
Yes.
someone who also a problem solver. Absolutely, golden man. Absolutely, yeah. That's somebody who is bringing solution to problem. That is right. We absolutely right. Yeah, you're right about that. Because we are about transformation and bringing solution, and you want to see people bringing very good results at the end of the journey. Absolutely.
Yes, and I think that's why I said I saw myself more as a warrior because I
Yes.
was fighting for solution and
Yes,
would battle
solutions.
to bring
Mm-hmm.
those solutions about if I had to. If I had to
That is
battle,
true.
then I would
Mm-hmm.
battle. And so I
Yes.
absolutely agree with Gold Man. Uh,
God, man,
but that is
yes.
absolutely a part of being an authentic leader as well, for sure.
That is true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even our website is it has to do with solution because with you solutions. So we always here with you solution. We providing solution with you because we are in partnership of being in partnership with you to be able to bring solutions. Absolutely.
Mhm.
So thank you guys. You guys were awesome. Thank you, Coach Pat again. And we'll see you
My
everybody tonight with Dr. Tammy, 9 p.m. Central Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So we stay tuned and see you tonight. Thank you again, Coach Pat.
goodbye, and thank
Goodbye.
you.
Thank you.
Pleasure being here.
Yes.